What is up, guys, and welcome to my ranking of the Breaking Bad television series. I am a massive fan of this series. It is my favorite show of all time. Let's get started with this ranking. Coming in at my number 5 for me is going to be season 1. Now, don't get me wrong, this is still a really good season. Even though it was 7 episodes long, it does a really great job of getting you introduced into this world. Introduction of Walter, introduction of Jesse, introduction to their whole meth empire business, and them having to deal with Tuco. All that stuff is really great, and on the edge of your seat, tension-filled stuff. All the stuff with Hank and Skyler and Maria. This was still the point in the show where Skyler didn't become an unsufferable person, insufferable character. Not really much to say about season 1. I just think that some of the other seasons are definitely better than season 1. Plus, again, it was the shortest season of the 5. My number 4 for you is gonna be season 2. Season 2 is a really good sophomore season of the show. We get introduced to Skinny Pete and Badger and Combo, who are all Jesse's friends, and of course Saul, who got his own spin-off show, Better Call Saul, which I still haven't seen that yet. Yes, I know, the Breaking Bad fan in me still hasn't seen the Saul spin-off yet. But he is absolutely hilarious. We get introduced to Gus, introduced to Mike, and they're awesome characters. The episode 4 Days Out is one of my favorite episodes because it's literally just an entire episode of Walter and Jesse in the desert cooking their, the Blue Meth Empire whole. You get introduced to Jane, which Walter kills at the end of the season, and you're like, oh damn, man, why'd you kill Jane for? And he keeps it this big secret from Jesse until all the way up until the last few episodes of season 5. But yeah, season 2 still a really dang good season of Breaking Bad. My top 3 just are slightly more. My top 3, however, are just slightly more, impactful of seasons. My number 3 is going to be season 3. Season 3 is a fantastic season. This was where Breaking Bad, yes, it still had some of that dark element of humor, but it also has the more dramatic and high stakes. From here all the way into the end of the show, basically. Season 3 is just firing on all cylinders. You have Walter going to cook for Gus and Jesse trying to cook for Gus as well, and they both have this friction between the two of them all throughout the season. And you get introduced to the twins, who they are scary as hell characters. The Salamanca twins. They are both really scary as hell characters. And you got the episode Fly, which I know a lot of people don't like that episode, but I like that episode, the Fly episode. It's one of the best episodes of the show in my opinion, and one of my favorites, because it's literally just Walter and Jesse trying to capture a fly in the lab throughout the entire episode, and it's pretty funny in spots. And you have the episodes of Half Measures and Full Measures, which great 1-2 punch. And Walter has to choose between either his allegiance with Jesse or his allegiance with Gus. And then, of course, at the end of Half Measures, you get Walter's car ramming over these two dealers, and then he shoots one of them in the head, tells Jesse to run, oh, that shit is awesome. And of course, the end of season 3, where you're left on that really big cliffhanger of Jesse shooting Gale. You're like, oh dang, is Gale actually dead? Did he manage to did he dodge Jesse's bullet, or like what? You're like, oh. So yeah, season 3 for me, my number 3. My number 2 for me is gonna be season 5. Season 5 is a really good season of the show, of course, dealing with the aftermath of Gus's death, and you have Walter and Jesse and Mike teaming up. All that stuff is really cool and fantastic. You get that great train heist episode, one of the best episodes of the show. You get introduced to Lydia, introduced to Todd, which Todd, when you first watch the show, you don't really know exactly where his allegiance stands. And then you find out, yeah, this guy's a bad guy. You need to do something about it. You have Hank figuring out the truth about Walter and all that stuff. You have the iconic Say My Name scene, which that whole entire scene, seriously, I can still YouTube that scene, and it's just, oh, it just still gets you so amped up and pumped. You're like, heck yeah, Walter, you're Heisenberg. You have the whole entire second half of season 5, which is just talk about like on the edge of your seat, like insanity of, especially when I first watched the show way back in, what was it, 2020, 2021. It's just on the edge of your seat insanity. Like, who's gonna get to Walter first? And you have Jesse teaming up with Hank, which that was a really nice dynamic to see, especially the complete opposite of what season 3 was, because season 3 you had Hank on Jesse's butt the entire season, or almost quite the entire season. Then you have Walter giving Jesse up, and to Todd and his crazy uncle, and you have Walt, pretty much the whole falling out of between him and Skyler, which all and all of that stuff was really cool. You have him literally kidnapping his own daughter, and you're like, oh dang, Walter has gone too far. And of course you have the scene where Walter kills Mike, and you're like, yep, Walter, you have gone too far. I don't know if I can root for you anymore, buddy. You killed Mike. And of course that final episode, which is the standard for how you do a final episode of a TV series. Just everything coming to its full conclusion, where Walter has to save Jesse from Jack and his gang, and you have the badass machine gun just mowing down Jack's whole gang. You have Jesse straight up killing Jack because he killed Adrian earlier on in the season. You have Walter and Jesse look at each other one last time, and it's just and of course you have that badass final shot with Baby Blue playing in the background as Walter dies. Just, oh, that is how you do a final season. That is how you do a final episode. Looking at you, Dexter. I just love season 5. But of course, my number 1, which I always go back and forth between my top 2. They're that close. They're that neck and neck with each other. But my number 1 for me is season 4. Season 4 is the greatest season of TV that I have ever seen. You have the whole thing about Walter and Jesse versus Mike and Gus, and a really great subversion of expectations where Mike gets Jesse on the Gus's side, and now Walter has to figure out exactly what to do, how to get Jesse back. You have all that stuff is really great. You have, which we didn't know it at the time, but when you have Walter poisoning Adria's son Brock, and that gets Jesse all mad and pissed off to the point where he literally almost shoots Walter. Which that whole scene was just crazy. You have Walter doubting Jesse to where how he could cook his own product if he could cook it without him, and you have that whole blow up fight scene between the two. Like, it's just crazy. The whole backstory of Gus and why he's getting revenge for the cartels and the Salamancas. Which he pretty much poisons all of them by obviously slipping all the poison in the tequila, and you have the cartel just completely fall over and die. Even one of them splashes down into a pool, and you have the whole ending to where Walter and Jesse are back on each other's side, and they figure out a plan to get rid of Gus, and Walter uses Hector Salamanca to his own advantage, because of course he knows that Gus doesn't like the Salamancas, and you have the iconic where Gus looks, but it's too late to react, and you get boom to where both Hector and Gus blow up, and Gus comes out looking like dang Two-Face. Just season 4 is the shit. Season 4 of Breaking Bad is the shit. My number 1, season 4. Well, that is it, guys. That is my ranking of the Breaking Bad television series. Let me know, how do you guys rank all 5 of these seasons? Let me know down below in the comments. Give me your guys' ranking of Breaking Bad, please, down below. And with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.